Hello, my name is Charlotte Cecil, and I'm an associate professor in biological psychopathology at the Erasmus Medical Centre in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. Together with my colleague Alexander Neumann, I lead work package 4, which is dedicated to epigenetics. So epigenetic processes regulate the way your genes get switched on or off in different cells of your body and at different times in your life. But they've been getting a lot of attention recently, also because they do this dynamically in response to your genes and your environment. So they might help us better explain how genes and environments come together to shape your development and your health. However, we still don't know much about whether it can also help us explain how psychiatric risk gets transmitted from one generation to the next. So this is really what we're trying to explain in Work Package 4, using a lot of big data around the world, new methods, and also looking at different types of epigenetic mechanisms, which is still really rare for human research. Several things, I'll have to pick favorites, but one thing I really enjoy, I appreciate about the family project is that it understands that we're trying to address a really complex, nuanced question. And to do that, we need an equally complex and integrative approach. So I like the fact that it appreciates that we need to look at both genes and the environment together and the mechanisms through which it might shape mental health and well-being. Also looking at different types of data sets, the general population, high-risk individuals who might have a family history of mental illness, but also experimental models, and trying to triangulate all that evidence together to identify really robust findings. And finally, what I really appreciate also is that it's not just focused on risk, it's also trying to understand resilience and why certain individuals who have a family history of mental illness do not develop mental health problems, and what can we learn from that, and how can we use that knowledge to help individuals who might be a little more vulnerable. For me, it really comes down to, scientific curiosity and being able to pursue the questions that you're really genuinely interested in and that you think can make a difference in people's lives. I also like that no 2 days is the same. You're definitely not going to get bored in a scientific career. There's always new things to learn, and for every question you answer, you generate 10 new questions to pursue. And finally, I really enjoy the collaborative spirit. I am very lucky to be able to work with all sorts of amazing people, and I think there is an appreciation that to address complicated questions, we need a lot of minds together, and this is really well reflected in the family project, where I think we have over 50 collaborators from 12 different countries, and I think that's really amazing. Yes, I think it's really, really important to try to remember why you went into research in the first place and what it is that you enjoy about it, because I think that will help you in those moments in your career that will be a little tougher, such as dealing with paper or grant rejections, for example. I also think as you develop as an academic, it's important, you might get a lot of exciting opportunities, and it's easy to say yes to everything, but also trying to remember that what you're saying yes to means that you're saying no to something else, and it's quite easy to get spread a little bit thin across many things, and therefore then detract focus from the big things that you really want to get done. And finally, again, teamwork and team science, appreciating that research is not just about science, but it's about the people who make it happen as well. So I think collaboration and helping each other out and trying to find ways to solve these problems together is really important. As I said, science is not boring, and it's anything but. It can get very hectic. I think it's really important to find ways to decompress. For me, it's a strange combination of boxing, which I am very much into lately as a sort of stress relief kind of thing, but I also really enjoy dancing and meditation. So those are my sort of three activities. I come from a family of artists, and I used to do a lot of drawing and painting, and that's kind of gone down a bit over the years. I'd really like to pick it up again. But I think from a very practical point of view, I have a small child at home, and at the end of the day, no matter how many things I have to still do for work, I just have to switch it off. And I think that's actually pretty healthy. So I thank her for this.